Is it me? Am I the problem? Nice shirt. Thanks. And state foods? All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
Hello, Melissa.
Well, hello, Amy.
Uh-oh.
How are you?
Uh-oh. I'm good. I'm actually glancing back through our board, trying to figure out what today is. And I see all this good stuff that we never get to because we're forever going on idiotic tangents that aren't good or funny, and we stick with them. So there's a lot of good gold on the board. How are you?
It's actually a better name for our podcast than Brilliant Observations. Idiotic Tangents.
Oh.
Idiotic Tangents. IT. It's perfect. It's as good as BO. So IT it is.
TI.
Write that down.
That's a UTI for you. A personal TI. That's an ITI. Individual TI. How are you? How are you?
That's
How are you?
gross.
How are you, Melissa?
I am well. I had a friend come and stay with me for the weekend. She was coming to pick up my daughter's drums.
Oh, it's a lot of intel. It's a lot
Yeah.
of detail.
I haven't seen her in years.
Okay.
4, 5 years, and her son wants to play drums.
Got it. Copy that.
My daughter is at college, has no intention of coming home, and if it comes down to she wants to play drums again, she'll get another set of drums. There's a boy on Long Island who wants to drum it out, and there's nothing I find more of a cause than somebody seeking to play music and not having the ability to, not going to let that happen. Here are your drums, friend. Come get them.
Yeah,
And she did.
I wouldn't do that. You're a much better person than I, Gunga Din. We're in the same situation with a cello, a piano, about 9 guitars, electric, acoustic, left-handed, and otherwise.
Oh, wow.
All still here. 2 drum sets, all still here. Because I don't want to release them for fear that some traveling minstrel may light my door, and then we would have the most amazingly epic party ever because all the materials here. All I need is a horn section. I got to round it out. Let's go. It's great. I love it.
So picture this kind of ska band on the road touring.
Bingo.
Breaks down
Yes.
right in Greensboro, and all of a sudden you are now come from awaying them and bringing them into your home.
And I don't even like ska. I'll just admit it. I really
I just
don't.
need your horns. That's
Bring
all
it.
I need.
I will do anything for a night, as you well know. I'm just here
Of
to
music.
say I like to have
To
the
party.
musical equipments. I've got like 9 tambourines. Tambourines are hard, y'all. Tambourines are difficult to operate. They hurt
It's
you.
wrist work. It's wrist work.
It's ass work. It's painful. When you're rocking a tambourine, even getting through one song, you gonna bruise yourself. And everybody's like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm telling you. And when you know, it's a big, painful fucking deal. You're committing a lot to...
Dear listener, she's not talking about the triangle. Work with her. She's talking about a tambourine.
You
which
are
you're constantly
committing.
smacking yourself
You
with.
are committing a lot to a denigrated instrument. People don't even think of it as an instrument. That's how low on the pole it is. Stripper pole gets more...
Like low on a pole.
Stripper pole gets more street cred than the tambourinist. I'm just trying to say, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, show
a
your
song
bruise
for
to
me.
me. I get it. It's
Ooh.
difficult. I'm just here to say. So the fact that you were donate a drum, 1-800-7-drums for kids. What's that awful?
Please, if you do it, it's going in my head, and I will cut you.
DRUM drums
Wow.
for kids.
Now it's there. Thank you
Donate
for
your
finishing.
drums today. You're
So my girlfriend
crazy.
comes to visit me, and she's never seen the Amish market. So there are so many carbs in my house and in her car as she's on her way home right now that I feel I've put on 4 pounds, and I didn't eat that much. I just don't. I don't know. I'm trying to be human and not like a child who hasn't seen a carb in 7 years. But when you're sharing something you love that you figured out moderation with someone you love.
When did you figure out moderation? I missed that episode.
When I'm not high, I can eat in moderation.
Oh. Okay.
After I've taken my nighttime meds, hold me back. There's not an buttered, egged something that I can't, floured something I can't shove in my face fast enough.
So good visit with friend.
It was a lovely visit. It pains me when I see my friends' struggles, right? Because clearly they're personal struggles, and there's absolutely nothing I can do other than tell my friend what I see and make sure she knows that she is what she is. She is you are a strong, independent white woman.
You
right?
is percussive. You is driving.
you is now. You is now. Don't worry. I put all the carbs on top of the hi-hat, on top of that cymbal, so nothing made noise when she was driving. It was buffered with, ready? It was buffered with cinnamon buns.
Ooh.
The cinnamon cake loaf, the coffee cake,
come on now.
the lemon blueberry loaf with the icing on the top. The donuts, the brownies. Like, I could go on, but that's another pound. It's like watching the time change on an old-timey clock.
It's such a good time. It's such a good time. All right, but let's rewind it all the way back. You don't like seeing your friend go through struggles. I presume these struggles are, I don't like this song on the radio station, or else you wouldn't be sharing it here. Surely this friend's big troubles are, I wish I rode more on the Peloton, something. No.
Time, weight, management, a parent with dementia.
Oh, gravy. That's a lot. That's a
a
big ball of bull.
It's so much, and there's just no fucking break. I feel like you're I'd say very late 40s to early 60s are a pocket of everybody else's demise as you deteriorate. Like, could you have given me some of these problems in my 20s? I feel like I would have been best capable in my 20s, maybe early 30s, to handle everybody else's needs from me. And
really? Do you believe it?
I don't think I'd be as good at it, but I was more mentally prepared to handle
do you honestly believe it? I think that all of us in our 20s, I have this rosy idea of who I was in my 20s, and I also have an actual awareness of who I was in my 20s in terms of productivity and motivation and insanity around task accomplishment, etc. So yeah, I would solve whatever fucking problem you have. And everybody would marvel at how efficiently it was done. Doesn't mean that it would have been easy or that I would have loved doing it, or honestly that I would have found zero resentment in doing it. I feel like the 20s were such a huge mindset away from where we are. I want to be in my 20s with the mindset that I have now. Then I would dominate the world. Because in your 20s, you're still dealing with, I don't know who I am, but I already know who I am. Don't tell me who I am. Can't you tell me who I am? Like, you're doing all this fucking shit at the same time that you're trying to get to the next rung on the ladder of life. And that can mean everything from whatever your relationship is, everyone around you is 2 rungs higher in their relationship status. So you're trying to do it. Everyone is, at the same level in career and education, or they're branching off and doing something. So it's like there's all this transition constantly. And as soon as you land somewhere, you think, okay, well, now the next thing's coming, or everybody else is doing the next thing. And you're either excited to be a part of it too, or I don't want that, or how can I get that faster? So I just feel like taking on the parent with dementia, yeah, that starts to feel like I got to deal with my own Starbucks coffee and this asshole boss, and who's going to watch my dog when I go out for the 3-day bender, right, that I can't afford, so we're going to sleep in a tent. Like, whatever the fucking, like, that's your 20s kind of. Dealing with somebody with dementia can also be, that's a tough one. I don't know that there's any age that's best equipped for it. At least now. There's at this age, at this quadrant of life, there's this notion that it feels close enough that even if you don't want to do it, there's the instant gratitude and kind of the karmic passing of the buck. I got to do it because I'm making a bet that somebody's going to do this for me, so I'm doing it for me.
I'm getting closer
right.
to this place, yeah. I just want her to remember the person that she was when I fell in love with her and became best buds with her. And she's in there and she's fucking fiery. So don't tamp her down too much because she's a goddamn force. And would you like some carbs? So that was a yeah.
And here's the Vic whoever drumsticks. I always forget who Vic somebody.
Yeah. And here are 3 dogs to rub who are going to lick you for hours. And did you want to sleep till noon? Because you can, and that's fine. But there'll be no carbs left at the
So
Amish
a nice
market.
escape. It's a good escape. Yeah, good.
It was so she's not even home yet. She left at 1 something, so she's not even home yet. But I have a question for you.
Let's see how I do.
If you had to list my personality traits,
Yeah.
how far down on the list would petty be?
Second. I was gonna say fifth, but that was just a guess. Whatever you were gonna say, I loaded the number fifth.
Too
like
higher.
Before I knew the question, I said answer fifth. Whatever she's gonna say, brain, let's say fifth. That'll be fun. Well, I don't even know what the question is. And then you bust out and then my brain said, no, it's 2. So I don't know if that's right,
2?
but it feels right. What do you think?
Does it?
Too high? Is it too high?
Well, I'm going to support your answer. Okay. I'm going to give you some support because I like it when you're right. I like it when you're right. And I want you to feel good about being right
But
too.
I mean, for comedic value, you're a too petty for comedic value, not for vindictiveness.
Hold that thought.
Oh shit! Okay, I tried.
Hold
baby.
that thought.
I tried, baby. I tried to smooth it. All right, go.
Tell me if you think it still applies in 14 seconds.
Jim and Nick.
When I started setting up things at the beach house, I bought a fixture that was 45.3 inches wide for a bathroom counter.
Got it.
And the guy's like, rant, rant. You need 2 littles. I put 2 littles in, and now I have this Colossus 6 light fixture that I listed on Amazon or local community marketplace on Facebook. That's what it was. Local community. The responses I have gotten are just insulting me and this fixture.
Yes, they are. Yes.
I don't know where the fuck you get off. Just no thank you would have been fine. I did not need to be told that I purchased the... Why don't you shove it up your ass and I don't engage, right? I just see their comment and I half smile, nod, and it's like a tiny little knife poking. It's like getting hit by a tambourine, okay? So the tamborine's coming at me.
No music comes. Yes.
No,
it's the
music.
worst.
So the last one, I have like 7, 8, 9 of these now of people just insulting me, right? Everybody asks how big it is
still
first.
For sale. Yes. Okay. Go.
Right?
Yes.
And then insults me. This last one, and dear listener, please understand, I would give it to any one of you for free. For free. This fixture,
if only you would write in.
Right. If you sent an email to brilliantobservations@gmail.com, it could be yours. So this last one that kind of might have set me off, I'm so glad there are no kids in this house, right? And I send them the post from Amazon where I got it. It's a $260 lighting fixture.
Yeah.
It's not break the bank, our life sucks, get it, whatever. It's not something I feel like I can just toss or just wildly say. I would like to recoup anything, right? Something. Well, I thought anything. Something. So I post it. $260. What would you post it for on your local marketplace?
If I want this shit gone and $100, $100, 150, something. Yeah, it's brand new. It's in the box.
It's brand new in the box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has never been taken out of the box.
Yeah.
The foam on the top was taken off, looked at, and gone,
$175. I mean, yeah, whatever a 30, 40, 50% discount from somebody in the store.
Fugazi, I listed it for $60.
Oh, fuck you and your street walk. Are you kidding? And people still want to come at you wringing their hands? I just want the outlet cord. I just want the box.
Here's my favorite one.
Can I pay you 13 cents?
I don't understand this mentality.
God.
So I get the email yesterday or the response yesterday that says, regarding your colossal fixture, would you take 50? I'm going to shit on it, rub it in, and leave it at the fucking mailbox to be taken away before. I told you saw in the picture, it's a I took off. I'm only asking $60. And I've had explained to me by 3 separate people, and I don't really see people on the regular.
Right.
So 3 people. So I've been on fire about this. 3 people have said to me, well, that's kind of the nature of the game of listing something in a public forum. That's what you do. You offer less.
Okay.
If somebody tells you it's an untouched, like even the glass globy things that go on top of the bulbs, not a fingerprint, nothing, never touched, in the box. NIB, new inbox. Would you take 50? And I just kept blinking, looking at my phone, and my husband said, are you okay?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, blink. No, I'm not okay.
We're back to it. We're back to all the stuff that I have in the house that I don't want to throw away because it has value. I bought it. Now I'm going to do it anew and in an even greater scale. Just bought a new kitchen table. Just bought a new kitchen table. Just bought 6 new kitchen counter stools. So the old kitchen counter stools are not great. So I am prepared to fully discount those. And if I get anything for them, I'll feel it's like make them go away, go with God. That's great. But the kitchen table, we're changing it because it's time to have a different looking kitchen table. So it's not like it's this horrible, needs to be replaced. That's why it's so frustrating. New in box. This is not new in box, but at the same time, it's like if you wanted to get this kitchen table, you're already got a comment in it in any store anywhere on a discount day. So the fact that you're coming over here and getting a steal, at what point?
You're welcome.
At what point is it about the steal? And at what point is it about you negotiating me down? Because if that's the case, I'll just list it at double what I think I'm going to get and play your stupid game. But then when you do this, like nobody wants to do it. I'm looking for, back in the day, the Saturn automobile approach. I guess now it's Car
That
Max,
is what it is.
right? Where the price is the price. And it's not a negotiating forum. People often write firm, right? As in the sense that I priced it right. I'm not playing a game. Pay me this price or don't waste my time. I guess folks who are only interested in resale are interested in the story they're going to tell. They're not interested in the object at all because the object is only as valuable to them as the bragging rights that they get to share. I paid 96 cents for this thing, spray painted it, spent 97 hours of my life making it look 10% better. Now look at how smart I am. And I'm like, you're an idiot because you could have gone to the store and bought a new thing. But anyway, okay. I get crazy. Makes you want to just throw the shit in the street.
Makes me want to stomp on it till everything cracks and breaks and then put it on the street. Hence, moving petty from 5 to 2.
I don't think breaking your own shit's really a good answer, but that's
I never
funny.
thought I was petty, but oh my God, would you take 50? I'm going to give it to the mailman because we have a nice rapport, and I don't even think he wants it, but I'm going to make it his problem.
You just gave $5,000 worth of drums to your friend for no reason. She can buy her own fucking drums, but at the same time, the amount of rage that is push button activated from under offering on a Facebook marketplace, I could relate. Gal pal. I could fucking relate.
And then it started a fight. I'm like, no, it's not a yard sale where your driveway adjacent where you're coming and I have a box of books and it says everyone's 50 cents. And you said, I'll give you 50 cents for the box. I think if you are standing with a change maker strapped around your waist on your front lawn with all your wares on the driveway, you are in a different mindset than I am purchasing something that Amazon wouldn't let me return because I was too ahead of myself and their return dates are and then...
Well, I don't want to add fuel to the fire, but here it goes. Amazon will take anything back. All you have to do is activate their policy. Simply write them the question and say, This was purchased for new construction. It ended up not being viable. It is brand new in box. It is way past the date, but it's been sitting in storage. I would like to return it. What can you do for me? And they would say, we can return this for you. Here you go. And they do it all the time. You just have to actually, they make it a little cumbersome, but it's in there. They'll take they're like Costco. They will absolutely take anything back. So you can do that. You have to.
And I can just bring it right to Kohl's where they'll take it
any
and
way
wrap
that
it,
you'd normally,
tape it, and ship it.
any way that you would normally send some shit
Then
back.
that's what I'm doing. And fuck you, Mother Eater
Right.
63, and fuck you, ice skating for life,
Well, the
because
thing
you
that is
are
so insane is I know your neighborhood. I know your home. Our listeners have an imaginary sense of where you live, and it's probably within the category of accurate, right? It's
I live in horse country, right?
It's a luxurious home. These are estates. These are lovely elevated properties, okay? This is not the place where you roll up and make a ludicrous offer for used books. What if you're so hungry for secondhand literature? I don't think this is the neighborhood in which to start. Can we say? This is because my religion prevents me from ever throwing away a book. And yet I have no more use for this. And the library is already overflowing because we live in a richy rich neighborhood and our library is full in stock. Thank you. So ain't nobody need my donated books. Our schools don't need my donated books. This is really what's the next best home. My beach house is full of my own fucking books. If you would like books for your beach house, maybe these are they, right? This is
Yes.
not the walk up, scratching, wearing your fucking flip flops. Dig
you
out
got
your
owls.
dig out your coin purse. I'll give you 90 cents for the whole box. Will you, Tina? I think you need to keep walking. We're okay here.
I'll give you a
It's
full
just
dollar to
sad.
get the
It's
fuck
the
out
kind
of
of thing
here.
where you want to look at her and say, "You're sad. Goodbye. Goodbye."
Were they just playing a game? Is that
Yes,
what they were
but
doing? They don't
but
even.
It's the same thing with Sherlock Holmes. There was a Benedict Cumberbatch version of Sherlock Holmes. Did you ever see this one?
I did, yeah.
And at one point, the bad guy comes into his office at whatever, blah, blah street, Baker Street, right? The bad guy violates all terms and conditions, comes into Sherlock's space, and while he is talking to him, he urinates in the fireplace. The bad guy does, while talking to Sherlock Holmes. And they all stood there. There's a whole bunch of people. They stood around. They watched the unzip. They watched the cock come out. They watched the urine flow. They watched the tap, tap, tap. They watched it get tucked back in the trousers, and the man walked out, leaving them with a urine-soaked fireplace. At which point,
That's classy as fuck.
Sherlock Holmes immediately launches into, somebody says, "Did you see that?" And he launches into, "Yes," because he noticed some details that help him crack the case. Nothing at all about the pee. The reason that image sticks with me is because it fundamentally is the repeated theme of my life. There is no way to get out of that situation unscathed. If you do nothing, you've been violated. Congratulations, you are now victimized. If you do something to stop it, you are an aggressor who is violating all cultural norms and who is abandoning politeness by attacking someone in your house. So you lose in that way. There's no way for you to win. You can't, like, the person who violates the rules gets away with it automatically or else changes the game for everyone else automatically. There's no way to get out of that situation without the game changing except for you to be the loser. So the only way to win is to play in this new field where you're now
change the game.
negotiating with Tina. And the reality is you're selling these books not because you need 50 cents a book, but at the same time, that's the term you set. So you want 50 cents a book. So for you to say, "Oh, just take them, Tina," because now the game is, I don't want to be so ridiculous that I'm haggling over trash.
Sense, right.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're giving up something that you wanted for no reason because she changed the game on you. Like it just
and
comes
that's
back to
true.
peeing in the fucking fireplace.
And that's true because it's a $10 difference. And what the fuck is the difference for $10?
Yeah.
Can I spare $10? Absolutely. But fuck you.
So now
Fuck
it comes
you.
down to this decision. It's like when a kid is rude to you, that's not your kid. So now it comes down to, it's rude of me to correct that kid, or I can have this little fucker sass off to me. How do I fucking win? Like, do you know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
that one much better
They're all
because
the
that's a
same.
child, and you can
It's
shapeshift
all-
that one.
No, it's all the same.
We don't actually talk like that, Boner, in this house.
Now you're
That's
correcting
not how
someone
we...
else's kid in front of them.
Yep,
So-
sure thing.
That's my okay. But just to keep it clean in the $10 thing, you don't need $10. But then
Right.
that begs the question: why are you selling it at all? So you want $10. So
and
it comes
not what?
down
Just
to
throwing it out?
thank
What's
you.
the other
I'm
option?
not there. I don't have a value judgment on it. I'm saying that's why this situation is so infuriating. Because you set an expectation of what's going to go down in this transaction, and it's fundamentally violated by people who are already at your lowest level of participation, and they expect you to go lower still, right? So for you to say, no, I'm going to hold the line, now it comes down to, so you're prioritizing the price that you
$10.
set, or
Right.
I maybe I'm not explaining this very well, but to me, there are all three of these are the same circumstance. The person in violation is the interloper who comes
Correct.
in and wants to shake everything up for their benefit without regard for you, and it causes you to make all these value judgments about the terms of the relationship and what's important to you, and would you rather be perceived by yourself? Would you rather accept that you were a person who stuck to the price, or who couldn't be bothered for fucking Tina and her sad underbid? Just get off my lawn and take the shit because you're not worth it. So which is worth it to you? So it's like all these to me, my head just goes in I would stay awake for hours and hours trying to figure out how to get out of that one.
Well, there's a science to it. You remember when I listed a piano, and when I listed a piano, a baby grand, for free, crickets.
Which is insane. Yeah.
When I listed a baby grand piano that we had tuned less than 9 months previous, and when I listed it for $100, there was more interest.
Right.
And then I realized there are thousands of pianos for free on the internet. So, dear
Right.
listener, if that's what you're looking for, thousands of pianos.
Right.
The issue is, how do you transport it? But that's another story. So I knew in my head the house 2 doors down sold for, I don't know, $150,000 over asking. There's pricing. You said it. If you price it where it should be, it'll sell immediately, right? It'll go quickly. Maybe even you'll do well. But there are people who look at it and say, oh, she's asking $170 for that fixture. No. I said $60 because I couldn't just post it for free to Good Home, although that was my next. I tried to do it in Margate. Somebody came. We talked about this already.
Yes.
I thought I was playing the game, and now there are rules I didn't know where everything is You just gave me another word. If I were to ever do it again, it's price firm, $60. Like, it's not like I didn't give you all of the information in the listing and you're not getting exactly what Amazon shipped. But now that I know Amazon will take it back, all I have to do is get it to Kohl's after a sob story on.
There's not even a sob story. It's simply activating a policy that they keep cumbersome to find for this very
Okay.
purpose. And if you Google how to return something on Amazon that's way past the date, there will be step-by-step instructions for where to
Love it.
find what to do on Amazon. And you all can now go do this. But bringing it back to the home sale pricing discussion, that's relevant here. And I totally forget why. When you said it.
It was knowing what to charge, knowing the value.
Here's why it's relevant.
Yeah.
It's totally relevant here because there are people in a real estate situation who are basically scalping. They're opportunists. They will come in and because they don't know your situation, nor do they care. And if you are so hungry and willing to sell for $100,000 under because you need it today to solve whatever other pressing
Right.
problem is not in the listing, then they get your house. So those people exist. The problem becomes when we're talking about a 10-cent item. We're talking about a paperback book in a box on the curb. To be an opportunist about that speaks to a level of mindset and, frankly, chauvinist behavior that I just cannot abide. This is somebody who is going to argue with you over a tomato in the supermarket, right? Somebody who is so me, must have, that's mine, I got it. Yeah, I had to wrestle it out of her hand. I'm super judgmental in this regard. I'm immediately fixating on this is the class of person who will wake up on a holiday to go shopping to get $100 off television and who will be on the news in some sort of a fist in the air, stuffed animal in a box over their head, who's going to be trampled on the evening news. I mean, at a certain point, commerce, buying something is just not worth a breakdown of so many core values. It's just sickening. And for somebody to even get to your house, the amount of effort it takes to get to your house, to haggle over 20 cents, 30 cents, you're embarrassing. It's like exposing
embarrassing.
yourself to me. Literally dropping your pants. What
Stop
are
peeing
you
in my
doing?
fireplace. You cannot have it for $50.
You clearly are in the wrong place, Tina. It's gross. It's just, that's what's shocking. This is not you at the swap meet in a a dust-laden parking lot, heat of the Texas sun, with
in my short
miles
shorts
of
with my
tables
tank
next
top.
to you, rows and rows of metal Texaco signs all over your plate. I mean, no, this is not that, right? You're not selling Coca-Cola trays from 1919. This is books from your Jesus. I'm so upset. All right, I'm over it. I don't like her.
So,
and I hope you said no. I would rather burn them. Get off my lawn. That's what I would love to say.
So petty, right? Petty's one of them, and it's higher now that this shit has happened.
But that's not petty.
Okay.
I don't feel like that's petty. Is it? Do I not understand what petty is? I just
Yeah,
learned the difference
I would
between
rather
envy and jealousy just yesterday. So maybe I don't really know what petty is. So
Petty is, I would rather smash this fixture to shit than have you walk away with your story of how you negotiated to 50 and you
But
tell all
isn't
your
there an
friends at the
element-
next party.
isn't there an element of culpability in pettiness, though? At a certain point, I think to be petty is
Yeah.
to almost is to take a cheap shot when you could choose not to. And that's not what you're doing here, is it? We used to have somebody in that professional group that I quit, that you're so glad I quit, and she would refer to herself when she would get on there. People would have the "this person done me wrong" song post in there and talk about something that, because it was also a private community where you could share things that you didn't want your clients to know, and that,
Sure.
yeah, so they were in there saying, and then so it'd say, "What should I do?" and paint this horrible saga, and everybody would chime in with their theoretically helpful, supportive comments. And this one woman would always come in, and she would do the little raise her hand emoji, and she would go, "Petty LaBelle here," and then she would bust out, "I'm gonna slash that bitch's tires and fuck 'em," and hee-haw laughing and the whole thing. So Petty LaBelle says, "I'm gonna light these books on fire and fuck you, Tina, with your matches." Like, there's
And now
gotta be-
here I am burning books. Like, what has happened?
That's petty. Right. So you didn't do that. You just
Not
you
yet.
just refused to be victimized by Tina and her shaky shopping habits.
Yes, and it was a man, by the way. I'm just going to add, I know, and I'm just going to add to it was a man. What does that mean? How does that make it worse? I don't know, but it does. I don't know,
Just
but it
the
does.
whole fucking thing. I mean, what? I don't even want more details. I just don't. I want him to not have the books. That's what I want.
First of all, I would like to welcome you, my sweet Amy, to Melissa's TikTok,
Hey.
or as we like to call it, Melissa Talk.
Oh my God.
And recently, dear listener, Amy's been sending me TikToks that most of which I have seen, because she all of a sudden now has my feed. Like that one guy that says, "You can't eat and everybody has." The
I have
things
never
he
seen- I don't-
shows you
Oh, I
about
love
people
it.
cooking and eating and dropping things on the floor and dogs licking and putting it back, saying you can't eat at anybody. Genius, brilliant. I love him, and he's a singer. He's so great. But you did send one that I hadn't seen. So on TikTok, I also discovered a company called Nice Shirt Thanks.
Oh, it sounds like you.
You tell them anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many, I don't know if it's as many, like 3 to 5 of your interests, things that you do, like, love, whatever. And I guess they're graphic designers, and they just design for you a t-shirt, an image that has all of your interests.
Oh, you had told us about this. Yes.
Put together
Yes.
on there. Well, I sent you a picture this week of one that came for me. I said, my podcast, Paul Simon,
That's
baked
what that
goods,
was.
dogs. Yes. And
The corgis. That's why I got thrown. Because I didn't
right,
know
because
what
they weren't poodles.
I didn't know. I was like, why is she throwing? What's the fuck?
I just said dogs because I now love all dogs. I don't discriminate anymore. I've grown up. It's people, I figured out, not a fan.
I love that
Canines.
shirt. I love that
Fan,
shirt,
fan,
and I
fan.
love that I'm on the ground in that shirt. I'm very grounding.
I think it's a graphic that you already did or I already did, and they just stole it. But I just put brilliant observations, and now I have a T-shirt with us on it. It was really weird to see when I first opened it.
It's kind
And
of
it takes
perfect. It's kind of crazy perfect.
a while to get to you. So if you are looking for a gift for Christmas, feel free to look at Nice Shirt Thanks. They did a great job, and I will post a picture on the socials of that t-shirt that came for me, and you guys could see it and maybe use it.
Speaking of TikTok. But at some point, meaning like next week, we have to record ourselves and put little snippet bits out on TikTok, because there are people talking on TikTok who have podcasts, and the stuff they talk about is
So dumb.
so stupid.
So dumb.
Not
I
good.
skip. You know what you can also do when you see like that girl who's reporting to you what she ate today and,
my Lord.
for her podcast, you put your finger on it and up pops choices and it says not interested. So you can hit not interested and it says we'll show you fewer things like this. And I haven't seen her since, but I do that every once in a while, usually for Brand Curious. If I see another ad for Alpha Brain, I hate Joe Rogan so much. I wish he was in that fireplace when he was pissed on.
Oh, wow.
So
nice callback. Okay.
I am not a fan, which means
Yeah.
I can't cut that out. So you happy now?
Well, we have to do recordings, and we have to put them out on those things, because that's where people are. And as much as we love
where
the
I am.
people, as much as we love the people who are here, we also want to share with other people who are not here, because loving you as we do, listeners, you're not doing that good a job of sharing, because we're doing well, but we need like triple the sharing that's going on.
Also,
So.
we asked you to share with your friends.
I just mean verbally share. I just mean when you are in an encounter with another human, to say, do you listen? Right? What are you listening to? Oh, I love this podcast. Here, you should check it out. That's it. That's the level of sharing. I don't mean that you need to put this on any of your socials, because I'm not even on the socials anymore. And I get the impression that they're morphing very rapidly. So talking to other people, frankly, that's why TikTok is now a place to be. But also because I'm really interested in having the Chinese get all my information. So
All of it.
I
All
want
of
to
my
go there
information.
now. And I can't be on Twitter anymore because it's so bad.
But
It's
did you see what
so-
Valerie Bertinelli did?
I love Valerie Bert. You tell him, because I love her so much, and I'm so thrilled about Valerie Bertinelli.
I think so. Elon Musk took over a $44 billion later. And what did he decide? That for $8 you can get verified with a blue check. She paid $8 and then changed her name to Elon Musk, who, by the way, I think when you have too much money, you're fucking crazy. You become, I don't know, so out of touch with the world. And he's letting he likes the idea of chaos, I feel. In my opinion, he's a whack job. So she stole his name or used his name, used her blue check mark, and is now demanding a blue wave for this past Tuesday's election day. And she's using her powers and his stupidity for good and not evil. And I love that she did it. And she's a force, and she's Wolfie's mom. So it's great.
just to pull back the curtain a little bit on that whack job, he is a fireplace urinator. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
a
so
disruptor
he's-
in that way.
He's a
yes.
fireplace urinator, in the sense that if he is caught and taken down for urinating all over the fireplace that is Twitter, then he walks away, because he's only doing it as an investment that he's leveraging for other investments. So he didn't actually put up $44 billion of his own money. He put up $44 billion of funny money and then used that to go out and borrow and get even more funny money based on this. So going there, poaching it, ruining it doesn't hurt him. Going there, having people talking about him poaching it and ruining it every day keeps
Swells, yeah.
keeps it in the news, which actually helps him. So it's very difficult for him to lose in this. I make up all of the rules as I go along. I don't play by any of the rules as I go along. And the only game that I'm actually playing is not one that I'm in with you, Twitter audience, people of the planet, and Mother Earth. The only game he's in is with the bank and how much money he can make by jumping through whatever new hoops he invents tomorrow. So it's very frustrating in that regard, because it's the Wild West of business, and the Wild West wasn't a great or egalitarian place either, but some
That's why
good,
they call it Wild West.
some
They don't
good
say
came out of it. So I mean, on some level, you respect the outlaw. On some level, you respect the ingenuity. You respect the brazen disregard for conformity and the standard operating procedure. I do not respect the erosion of society, the disdain for individuals, the laughable manner that he destroyed an entire culture that was that organization and that was attempted to be created by that communications platform, the destructive power that he now holds in his hands without any interest in responsible stewardship. So all those things are very serious and important to me. But, hate the player, not the game. So hate the game, not the player. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Which is it?
I hate the player, but we drive a Tesla, so I'm
Gonna
very
play,
torn.
hater gonna hate, player's gonna play, gamey game.
All right, you
hip-hop,
just went
a
from
snick snack,
colloquial
biggity
comment
bong bong,
to Taylor
ching
Swift
ching.
to
Woo!
stop.
Hi,
Um,
it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I just want to say, oh my God,
that song.
that little girl, and I'm sorry, she'll forever be a little girl. That little girl is responsible for having not a single swinging dick in the entire top 10 of Billboard right now. You know this,
all
right?
her. It's all
her.
Yeah.
She has unseated every male, period, because she is slot number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Suck it,
That's
it
so
again.
impressive.
It's beyond impressive. Go get it.
She's wild.
Go get it, you little cat lover. It's crazy. I love this.
She's
I
wild.
Could not be more impressed. Could not be more impressed with this woman. Go.
Hold on to
Keep
your
on
pants.
going.
I'm turning. Hold on to your pants. I'm turning. Hey, Amy. Yay.
Hey, hi, hey.
You know how states, there are 50. You know how
I've met-
states have
Yeah.
a bird
Yeah.
and a tree and a flower? What else do states have?
Flags.
States have a flag.
They
yeah,
have a flag. They have a motto.
they have a motto.
They have a
Specialized
motto.
license plate
Yes,
sometimes
they
holds
do.
the
Yes,
motto
they
and the
do.
yeah, really nice.
Many states
I-
have a nickname, which is different than their motto.
The Show Me State, live for your
Mm-hmm.
motto nickname. Okay. I even saw a map during Halloween that said the most favoritist candies in each state, and I'd like to disagree with some of those, but that's fine. They obviously had some data that they used.
Got it.
I came across an article that told me of 12 states and their, how did they phrase it? Their 12 surprising official, got it? Official state foods.
I think I know one. I
I don't know if this is if it's one of the 12 because if
I'll tell you if it is. I'm an honest gal. I'll tell you if
Okay.
it is.
New York
Pizza.
yogurt.
That's stupid. It was wrong. This test is
wrong.
wrong. I disavow. Throw this test out. This doesn't work.
It's not
I'm
even
done.
a test.
Next, new test.
It's not even a
Bunch
test.
of idiots.
It's an article I read.
These are the same kind of fuckers who want to lowball you for the books and then not read the books.
Would you take $50?
Yogurt.
Hey, I
they don't
need
even make
$50.
yogurt in Texas. It's everything is Texas to me today.
New York. It's New
They
York.
don't even make yogurt in New York. Chobani. Fuck off. That's in Jersey.
I need $50 to make you holler. I get paid to sell my lighting fixtures.
There ain't no yogurt in New York. I was going to say
I was
Texas
born
again.
and raised in New York, and
no
ain't
yogurt.
No yogurt.
It's the yogurt-free state.
It might be, but I don't know where. Okay, Texas. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Texas.
Chili.
You'd think.
Burrito?
Chips and salsa.
Okay. Well, that's stupid, but I will allow it at least. Culturally
hear-
relevant.
You want to hear stupid?
Okay.
Illinois.
Oh, it's got to be a hot dog. Oh, it's probably pizza.
Popcorn.
They're so dumb, but it is very good there. It's good there because they're the ones that make that. They make the Chicago style. They make that Chicago style popcorn, which means it's caramel and cheese mixed together, and you want to lay down on the ground and rub your stomach forever. It's so good. It's in your teeth, but you don't care. It's so
Well,
good.
it's in your teeth for later.
Oh, my baby. Oh, it's so good. Okay, give me another one.
All right, closer to you.
Yes.
South Carolina.
Barbecue.
This one could fit. Boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be Georgia? But wouldn't that be Georgia?
No, that's unfortunate.
Georgia peanuts.
And the grossest part about boiled peanuts is you know how they eat them? You
How
get
they
your
eat them?
you get your can of Coke, right? You get a can of Coke, pop a top, put your peanuts in, shake them in, put put your thumb over Coke, shake it up a little bit. Then you drank it. It's like salty sweet.
What the fuck are you
Yep.
talking about?
They put that shit in the can and drink it from the can, and they eat those softened, sickened.
At the bottom when
they
you're done?
They eat the shells of the peanuts. The peanuts are boiled in their peanut husks, right? And so they're soft, which is also obnoxious. It's like vomit, right? But
I think I
then,
just threw up in my mouth.
yeah, and they normally serve them to you soggy in a brown bag. But people for lunch will dump them inside your Coke, so you're drinking and eating with one hand, and it's all in there because you on the go. Because I guess you're disgusting and you're on the go to someplace gross. So you gotta put your fucking. It's sickening.
You should lead with the "you're disgusting," and then everything else won't be so shocking out of your mouth
It's so gross.
afterwards.
Ball peanuts are the most disgusting thing you ever eat. It's like a sad snot brain, but it's
Welcome
not.
to South
but it doesn't
Kakalaki.
have any of like that seafood salty brine. It's not chewy. It just tastes like soggy. It's like chewing on a rehydrated found booger that somebody tucked inside.
Who would rehydrate a booger?
Well, I'm just trying to say, it's not like it was original. Like seafood, it starts out, it's of the sea. So it's always kind of wet. And you're ready to go. And you realize this is just another world. And my brain's got to get around the idea that this is of the sea. And it tastes like the sea. And it's a little, sometimes, your brain goes to a different place, right? Okay. But then when you're eating these boiled peanuts, then you think, I don't even know what this is because it's kind of like sandy and gritty. I mean, take an actual shelled, husked peanut. Imagine it. And when you
Yes.
bite into it, maybe 1 out of 90 of them would get mealy in your mouth.
Yeah, it's
You've
gross.
had-
And then
okay,
you
so now
spit them out.
picture the whole thing is mealy.
You weren't looking. It was the black and dark brown
So
one.
now
You ate
the
it by
whole
accident.
thing is mealy, which is like
No.
mealy is this texture of it's
No.
a combined dry wet. So it's like
Grainy.
the soft, grainy, crumbly,
grainy and soft at
and
the
moistened,
same time.
and moistened.
Oh,
Right. So it's kind
no.
of like somebody had dehydrated a whopper of a booger and let it sit on the windowsill
with
or
the
somewhere.
booger.
On the windowsill or something where you dehydrate them, yes? Then you want to pack it back in that husk that you found in the bottom of the floor on the Texas Roadhouse grill. And then you wrap that whole thing up in some
That
like
is
toilet
so
pa-
gross.
some tinfoil or something. And then you boil it for a real long time. And the water gets brown like the most sad bath water from washing a donkey. And then you want to put this shit cold into a can and pop the top, right? It's sickening. It's
I
sickening.
got the donkey wash like image in my head right now. I'm gonna have a hard time pulling out of this one. You were raised north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yes,
What the
ma'am.
fuck are you so
I'm from
in
the
touch
I'm
with?
from the Diamond State, which is our nickname because our motto is the first state. See how that works?
I do.
And our
I
state
can't
food
get
is like chicken. So
I'm sorry, what?
the state food is like chicken. It's the chicken is the state food. It's like chicken.
It's a state animal.
That's
it's
a
the
state-
state food. If you're a vegetarian or vegan and you live in the state of
Get out of
Delaware,
state. We don't want you here. We got
Okay.
diamonds and chickens. Fuck off.
Fair enough. Is Utah's state food better or worse than South Carolina's?
Whoa.
Utah, known for, let's just throw it out there,
Plural wives. Yeah.
being the whitest state ever.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, is that fair?
Plural wives.
Yes.
Very fast automobile trials. The Salt Flats, right? Stunning.
I wouldn't know, but okay.
Yes. It's the land speed record is held in Utah from the Salt Flats.
Utah.
The stunning
Vistas.
natural beauty.
Yes, give that to
natural
you.
beauty. And some, arguably very backward thinking. What? That's their state food? Is that? This is not a state food. Is this just what's
I
been
am telling
popularized by
you.
the inhabitants? That's different than a state food.
Interesting facts article. Utah's state food is Jell-O.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what? And
That's
knowing
not even a food.
if they had said ambrosia, I would believe that more. But I mean, just so dumb. So dumb.
When's the
Very-
last time? Stop. When's the last time you had ambrosia?
Never.
No, I mean the last time you actually had it, though.
Never.
Come on, Jew. Somebody fed you some ambrosia once in your life.
Never. I've seen it at the Amish market. And
I was just
giggle.
gonna say, and I don't mean you actually looking at it. I mean you having that shit with a spoon in it on the buffet.
Never.
What?
I've never, ever. I used to have Jell-O when I was sick. I was offered Jell-O before my colonoscopy. My Nana used to make Jell-O that she'd put banana slices suspended in it, and that
Yes,
freaked me the
scary.
fuck out.
Yeah.
Between the texture difference, the taste of and the kind of brings me back to your burl peanuts. But
I feel like we had ambrosia twice. Once because that was the thing people were serving, and then again because we had it before, and then I don't think we ever went back to it. But it's basically shredded coconut, Jell-O, mandarin oranges, and baby marshmallows.
Marshmallows, yeah.
I don't even feel like there's Jell-O in it, though.
I think there is. And yeah, because it's done in that weird mold. Even though it's
No,
not
I
clear
don't-
Jell-O, it's
I must
like
be thinking of something
pink.
else. I'm
Um,
thinking of like Afternoon Delight or some craziness.
What's the one with the pistachio pudding that I keep seeing at the Amish market that has the
That shit's good, though. That's
pineapple-
Watergate. That's Watergate salad.
and walnuts and
That's fucking good, though.
all things I like separately.
The
Can't imagine.
1960s were a little high, but you know they came up with some good salads. If you're
That's-
high,
That's when they decided that Nebraska's interesting or most popular food is Kool-Aid. That
these
ain't a
are
food.
foods. What is wrong with you, middle of the country? Come on, grab a hold
Oklahoma.
of some friends. That's not right.
Oklahoma has named an entire Southern meal as their
They're
food,
lying.
state food.
Nobody in Oklahoma has ever made or served an entire Southern meal. Oklahoma is casserole nation. Can we just admit it? They are one step away from Minnesota in terms of hot dish. They don't get Southern meal. You ain't from the South. This is idiotic. I don't understand this.
I
list.
don't know how they claim it. How about Indiana?
Indiana's probably got something with corn in it.
Indiana's the Hoosier Pie since 2009.
Sure, okay.
Sugar cream pie. What the fuck's a Hoosier Pie?
Sure. Well, it's probably like you're going to give me Ohio's probably got a Buckeye as their, which is a dessert.
That would make sense. A Buckeye is chocolate and peanut butter. Isn't that just a
Buckeye is a poison nut, as my husband loves to tell everyone because he is an Ohio hater. But a Buckeye confection is a peanut butter truffle-like ball that is dipped on the top with chocolate to resemble the Buckeye nut. But when you bite into it, it's basically a chocolate peanut butter truffle. It's yummy.
Love
yummy.
it.
It's yummy. It's very fiddly. It's a pain in the ass.
New
to make.
Mexico?
They have black bean dip.
I want that to be the right answer.
Biscochito.
I want that to be the right answer because now I want to go there and eat it. But
Ain't
I don't know what a
nobody went to New Mexico
biscochito
and
is.
had a biscochito.
I
Ain't
don't even-
nobody went to Mexico and had a biscochito. Just stop it. You're more likely to get a tamarind candy spoon in New Mexico than you ever going to get a biscochito.
Alabama. I don't even know what this is, so I'm going to read it
What
to
do we
you.
eat in Bama? That's barbecue again. That's what try some
Alabama
barbecue.
lane cake. It's been around since
Yeah.
the 1800s.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's lane cake is like similar to a pound cake, which in the same way that a chess pie is a southern pie. And everybody's like, what is that even about? What is a chess pie? Have you heard of a chess pie?
Yeah, I have only because it's black and white and it's no, that's tuxedo. What's a chess pie?
Pies are just straight up ass pies, and they make no sense why they're called chess pies. And
Huh.
the etymology that people have now divined is that it used to be stored in a chest. So it's a chest.
Shut up.
So it's a chest pie, which turned into a chess pie, which is what it is. So it's just a fucking pie. And that's we're all the way back to a lane cake, which I think is just isn't that just basically a blonde pound cake-esque white cake?
Multi-layered cake with
Yeah.
filling rarely strays from the mixture of pecans, coconut, whiskey-soaked raisins.
Oh, I'm totally wrong. So that's a version of a hummingbird cake. It's delicious. Have you ever had a hummingbird cake?
Never in my life.
Oh, it's very similar to what you're describing. It's a mix between it's a spring delicacy that now has migrated into a year-round cake option. It's very complicated, very expensive to make. Picture a cross between a coconut layer cake
Go ahead.
and a pecan pie and a rum cake, which is what you just described in the lane cake, a hummingbird cake. And the outside is bespeckled with toasted coconut so that the whole thing, it just, I don't know why they call it a hummingbird. Probably because you have to dip in and you can only eat very little of it because it's so rich, like one of those deals.
Or you have to take your straight-ass beak and go right in to
Right.
get everything. Yeah, that makes more sense. None
These
of
are all
this makes
idiotic
sense.
names. Okay, what do you got? Go.
And the last one is Maine. And we've been to Maine. We've spent some time in Maine. We've even had a confectionery thing recently close to Maine.
All
but
true.
whoopie pie.
Yeah, that checks out.
Does it?
Yep.
Because
It's
the
stupid,
Amish
'cause they're
make amazing whoopie pies,
That's right.
and
They're supposed to be blueberries because this list is so dumb. It's supposed to be
it
blueberries.
should be blueberries.
And they didn't even do Rhode Island, where the official state dish is calamari. They're calamari.
Well, you're on the water. That makes more sense. And I'm closing this right now because it says 6 things you might not know about the Vikings, and I don't have a need to know. I'm on a need to know basis, pretty much on every topic.
That list was whack.
It was wrong, is what it was. And I'm never going to get over the burled peanuts that you described.
So
because
gross. They're so gross. And you'll
that's
see them in the
vile.
store. You'll see them in the market in a can. Who's going to, let's just stop it. Just cut it out. That's like hamburger in a can. Like there's some shit that doesn't go in a can.
Dear listener, I'm curious what you feel your state food should be. It's really cool for us to hear what state you're listening in the first place. So here's your assignment to ignore this week. It is, at least I got a laugh from you. I wait for that. It is write us, brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go on Facebook. We'd love to see you there. Brillob Squad or Brilliant Observations in general. Try Listen Brilliant on Instagram or fuck Twitter. And we would love to hear what you think your state food is and how wrong this stupid article was that I spent 7 whole minutes reading and 10 talking about.
You know what?
That's 17 minutes. You might as well take that $10 and my fixture. I'll
You know
take 50.
what? Everybody loves arguing about state foods. That's why that list exists. That's all. Blah, blah. Anyway.
It looks like, dear listener, we're going to ask you next week for this one. So prepare yourself to not answer that poll question of for what are you thankful
I'll take
next
your
week.
poll. Mhm.
Because we are getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. And it's not a surprise for the last 5 years of podcasting. It is you for which I am ridiculously thankful. It is you that gives me a mission, a goal, and a reason to gather the dumbest fucking shit and share my complaints and ask you for yours. Hey, your fault for not telling me your complaints because I would love to own them and work through them with you. But yeah, so that's for the next week. But right now, stupid foods, stupid states, tell us. Ames?
So, Melissa,
Sir?
I got a question
Uh-oh.
for you and I need some
I
advice.
look like I'm in trouble.
I got a question for you and I need some advice.
I'd love not to help.
Perfect. And this is really a looky back advice. I've already done the thing, and so I'm looking for affirmation in that was the right choice.
Why don't I just
or-
tell you? You're right. You were right.
So, my son, one of them, hangs around with an excellent crowd of kids, and one of these very excellent kids joined us yesterday to go shopping for a very big camping trip at school. This other kid is a big deal all the time camper, Eagle Scout, whatever. And so they brought their list from school. They have to go into the mountains for 5 days, cook all their own food, hike
Oh, I
everything
know
in,
this
hike
trip.
everything out. It's a very big, kind of a scary deal. It's cold. This is happening next week. So it's, you have to get sleeping bags rated for 20 degrees, all the things. It's going to be pretty rough. So he came with us to verify that we had everything on the list and also to say, you don't really need that. Like, this is the equivalent of packing for summer camp and bringing someone who is a camp counselor. I know what you really need if this
Sure.
is your first time at camp. So
Sure.
that's what this was, right? Very helpful. And then afterward, we went out and got something to eat. And it was just delightful, and we had wonderful conversations. The reason I bring this up is because very early on in our afternoon together, which it ended up being an afternoon together, a quite delightful one, I noticed they had a very large hickey on his neck. And this young chap had been at a party with my son the night before where they both asked if they could stay out just a little bit longer. And it ended up being an hour later than we'd agreed to, which was not really the world's biggest deal. It was just an outdoor bonfire, birthday party, parents were home kind of thing. So, and all was well then. I kept staring and not staring and staring and not staring and staring and not staring and staring and not staring. And I decided I'm not even going to ask, even though as the day waged on, it got to the place where we were talking about a vast and great many topics. It could have been worked in that I could have said, where'd you get that? Or, something. And I thought, nope, I'm not going to wreck it. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do it. Should I have called his ass out? Do
I
people
would've.
still get
I
fucking
would've.
hickeys? Do people still get and give fucking hickeys? It was a fucking. There's no way that it was anything other than a
There's
hickey.
no way he got caught in a turtleneck and couldn't get out, and there was some abrasive tag.
I didn't even think he knew that it was a thing. Like it was just so obvious and stupid that it was like, do you even know it's there? Like how could you miss it? And at the same time, I wouldn't put it past you if you're not even really aware that it's there. What to do? So I asked my kid 2 days later,
Right.
2 mornings later. But anyway, so I said nothing. Go ahead.
So what'd your kids say when you asked them?
I said because then they went out. We spent that whole day together. I said nothing. They went out to a different party, came back this time on time, and I was asking. And I said, so what's going on with that friend's hickey? And he went, what? And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, yeah, did he get that at the birthday party? And
It's a love bite.
And he went, yeah. And then he was smiling a little bit, laughing. And I said, did you get one too? And he said, no. And I said, would you tell me if you did? And he said, no. So then I said, okay. So then I started to ask all these questions. Would you tell me? Would you tell me? Would you tell me? And finally, he told me a very little bit about what he was doing. And I was grateful for that very little bit. But I feel like I did the right thing by not violating the veil of somebody's been sucking on your neck like a fucking Hoover extension
You
stick.
absolutely did the right thing. You are getting hit by such sun that I'm sweating right
awful.
now.
I
It's
said, God,
really
it's like
bad.
God is shining down on me and saying, thank
did the
you
right
for
thing.
not mentioning the hickey.
And it's getting darker here, which tells you that your answer is right and mine is wrong. So you did the right thing 100% because you know what's comfortable in a situation, and I love to make people uncomfortable in a situation. So my thing would have been like, oh, you think she's cute? Is she as cute as the girl who was attached to your fucking neck that left that massive raspberry on you? Like that's where I would have. I'm a jab you with a chopstick kind of girl, but it's all in fun and humor. And if I saw he got weird, I absolutely would have pulled back and then changed the subject, but I would not have left that on the table. I don't know that I'm physically capable of leaving a massive hickey on a 16-year-old on the table. That to me is too juicy, pardon it, too good, too, it's too much.
I used to love giving hickeys, but they're not comfortable to get. So I don't even know why. Like the whole thing was just so dumb and weird. I don't get it. So I'm so far out of my experience right now to even remember why this was the thing. And that's honestly what I was more curious with my son to learn
like a trophy.
is, are they a real thing? Or was that just like an accident? Like, is that a thing why would you still do this? It's so weird. It's basically like the kids of today have decided they're going to go steady. Like it seems like such an old fashioned thing to do with no purpose. I don't get it. It was weird.
The hickey by nature is weird because what you're doing is stopping blood vessels from flowing and you're bringing them to the surface. So you have a bruise now that needs to heal. Why do you want to bruise the people you love or want to love or what? It's the whole thing is stupid, but there's no fucking way a teenager is walking by me with a on their neck. And I am not saying, yeah. I was looking for some fruit. Here's a raspberry. Is this one is like I would sit there. I would have sat across from him and found just the right way in, not hearing anything else he was saying.
So I kept having to look around. He was wearing a hat, so I just kept reorienting my eyes up to the hat, up to the hat, up to the hat, because it was a Whopper. And
you didn't sit there at the table, smack the table really hard and say, does nobody else see this?
I said nothing.
Dear listener, thank you so much for turning us on. Again, we hope we've turned you on in just a small way, maybe on to how hickeys are not necessary and wildly mockable, or just pay the fucking $60 on Facebook Marketplace. Stop. Everything does not need to be haggled. Just
Don't
fucking
haggle.
pay it.
We're not in a Jerusalem street market or whatever.
We're not
Saudi
in the
Arabian.
shook, right?
Yes,
We're not
we
in the
don't.
shook, right?
It's not part of our culture. Stop.
So, yeah, come back next week so that we can yell at you some more. We love you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.